Both presidential candidates were in their hometowns for very different reasons today. Former President Donald Trump sat in a courtroom in New York with at least 3 buildings in that same borough with his name on them. President Biden traveled to his childhood home, which the president said his family was forced to leave so that his father could find work in Delaware. The contrasting routes served as a constant refrain for President Biden in his speech on American opportunity and inequality.
Scranton values or Mar-a-Lago values. These are the competing visions for our economy, and they raise questions of fundamental fairness at the heart of this campaign.
What does all this rhetoric mean in practice? Promises to expand the child care tax credit, a $10,000 tax credit for first-time homebuyers. And in perhaps the biggest difference with his opponent, Biden says when the tax cuts passed under President Trump expire next year, President Biden, wants rates to increase for those making over $400,000. He wants a corporate rate increase, too. All, says Biden, to promote those programs for middle-class families. And Nancy Cordes is traveling with the president. She joins us now. Nancy, the former President Trump is complaining he can't get out on the campaign trail. How is the current president taking advantage of that?
By spending as much time on the campaign trail as possible this week, John, by basically creating a contrast to show that he is free and clear to travel where he wants. He is not holed up in a courtroom. He has been here in Scranton. He is spending the night. He's going to be heading next to Pittsburgh, and then at the end of the week, he'll be in Philadelphia. And so he's looking to create a contrast between himself and the former president, not only because President Biden grew up here in Scranton, in Pennsylvania, this key battleground state, but also he was arguing today here in Scranton that he shares Pennsylvanians' values in a way that Donald Trump doesn't. And he kept bringing up Mar-a-Lago over and over again, saying these aren't Mar-a-Lago values. I don't view the economy from Mar-a-Lago. I view it through the eyes of Pennsylvanians, basically seeming to make the case that Donald Trump is some kind of other, that he's out of touch, that he's wealthy and that he doesn't understand what everyday people are going through, a case that, frankly, the president's former chief of staff, Ron Klain, reportedly was arguing that he should make more frequently when he gave in a speech that he gave just last week.
Mar-a-Lago, the former president's Palm Beach home, and the centerpiece of one of those cases against him as well. Nancy, the fundraising gap between the two campaigns continues. President Biden raised nearly double what former President Trump did in the first 3 months of the year. What does that difference mean in real terms, when on the ground in Pennsylvania or out in the country?
Well, I think Pennsylvania is a great case study. So the Biden campaign is airing ads here in Pennsylvania right now. They say they have opened up 14 campaign offices in the state, hired 26 full-time Pennsylvania staffers just since February. We reached out to the Trump campaign to get their numbers, and they didn't want to share them with us. They would only say that they have full-time staffers in every battleground state, including Pennsylvania, and that they're adding more all the time. So there's no question that this fundraising advantage that the Biden team has is leading to a logistical advantage as well. They just have more resources to play with on the ground in battleground states like this one.
Nancy Cordes on the ground in Scranton, Pennsylvania for us. Thanks, Nancy.